Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our Sunday program. Lectures based on Bhagavad Gita and Vedas. Today the topic is giving up bad habits. What is the view of Bhagavad Gita? What is the view of the Vedas on this topic? So actually many people we meet, they ask about this topic. So many times they confide in that they have some bad habit, but they want to give it up. It's not that they don't know this is a bad habit. They know, but how to stop so many different bad habits. And as Bhagavad Gita is a spiritual text, it solves all the problems. Bhagavad Gita is a solution because the problem is material activities, materialistic life. Solution is the spiritual approach. Everything is purified and the spiritual platform. So when one comes to the spiritual platform, all the material contaminations are removed. So what about bad habits like this? Alright, so first of all, how does one get into bad habits? Firstly, due to associating with other people who have bad habits, we get bad habits. This is guaranteed. We may say that I'm not having any bad qualities, my friends are like that, but I don't do any of those things. But after some time, we may end up taking up those habits because of association. Association has a very powerful effect. It influences everything about our life. Association also doesn't mean just our friends, but it means what are we watching, what are we hearing, what are we contemplating. That's also a form of sangha. And we can choose what to watch, what to hear. That will affect us, definitely. So, for example, if you look around at the people in this room, they are good association because they've come here to hear Bhagavad Gita. That is their interest, to develop purity, spiritual character, morality. So this is good. They are attracted to godly life. But if we go to some other kind of places, definitely we'll meet wrong people and we'll get bad association and we'll end up getting degraded. So one bad source of bad habits is association, and the second is due to our karma, past life. Due to the karma, we associated and did some bad habits in the past life, and so in this life, because actually the body we get and the situation of birth depends on our desire. So our desires are materialistic or to enjoy a certain way, we are born like that, in that environment, in that kind of body, and we become more inclined to do things which other people may not be inclined to do. So this is the second one, that our past life influences our present. Due to that, we may also develop bad habits and someone else may not, but we may, due to this past life. Okay, so still these can be overcome. We will see how. Okay. The first is easier to avoid. The first is association, that we can. Second, due to our past life, we develop certain quality or character. That is harder, but it is possible to completely change our character to a pure and moral person. Because many times we have seen people studying these books or taking up certain spiritual habits, they completely transform. Everyone knows this as a fact. Okay, now, when we speak about bad habits, Everyone has their definition. What's the bad habit? Is it good or bad? Okay, for example, now in the modern day, we have live-in relationships. Okay, so everyone will have their own opinion. Is it good or bad? Okay, is it good for deciding who someone will get married to so they live temporarily with someone, or is it a good idea, or is it a bad idea? So that's one consideration. There are many things now being debated in modern society which previously accepted as something traditional is good or some good practice. Now they're questioning everything, that maybe we can allow this before we didn't allow. So many things. Now in the Supreme Court they're deciding certain topics. You may know about that. Okay, so according to Shastra, it will have opinion. Someone in the Shastra will have one opinion, but everyone else may have another opinion. But no one is looking at Shastra now. They're looking at the judge and the lawyers. Intoxication. Now in the West they're questioning, why are we stopping ganja? What is wrong? We can relax, they say. Okay, so should we legalize or not? So debates are there. So when we speak about bad habit, is it a bad habit or good habit? And whose definition are we taking? So how many are we? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 12 people in the room? We'll get 12 opinions. Whose shall we take? Whose opinion? We'll take the judge. The judge keeps changing. Prime Minister keeps changing. MLAs will change. They'll vote one law, then another law, and then change it. Oh, now it's illegal. Now it's legal. Before marriage age 18, now 21. Oh, so that's not a law anymore? No. That means we are following a wrong law. Yeah, but now it's correct. Okay, so how do we know your other laws are not wrong? How do we know? You made all the laws, now you change, tomorrow you'll change it. Okay, so the question is, okay, how to give up bad habits? The question is, what is a bad habit? What is a good habit? And whose opinion shall we take? So in deciding what is good and bad, before we talk about giving up the bad habit, let's decide on a source of this knowledge. And rather than a person, a normal person, we have to pick another perfect source. According to Shasta, every living entity in this world, conditioned living entity, but the Jiva Bhuta, have 4 defects. Brahma Pramad Vipalipsa Karna Pata Arshavigya Vakya Nahi Dosh Esam. People can commit mistakes, normal people in this world, me also. We can commit mistakes. We are illusion because I am soul, but I am thinking I am a man, I am a dog, cat. That is another issue. Can commit mistakes, is illusion, defective senses. My senses are not, in one day they'll think one thing, another thing they'll think another thing. You know, I'll hear sound, where did it come from? My senses are not perfect. So because of these defects of making possible to make mistakes, being illusioned, having imperfect senses, and number 4, cheating propensity. Anyone can cheat. They can say that we deliberated properly on this law and we'll make this law that this is wrong. But actually inside everyone said, no, I'm brought up like this, my religion, this is wrong, so I'm not going to accept it. And they're saying, oh, we deliberated on it. So due to these defects, we cannot accept knowledge from a normal man. This was Vedic culture. The Vedic culture, they'll not take knowledge or some normal person as a source of knowledge, because he can make a mistake. He can give an imperfect solution. He can cheat. He himself is illusion, thinking he's the body, but he's Atma. So we cannot take the knowledge of good and bad habits from a person. Person may say this is good, this is bad. Okay, so what do we look at? So what we do is we look at Shastra. Shastra Praman. Why are we looking at Shastra? Shastra is known as Apaurusha. We are repeating some terms. Again, many times we say this. Shasta is Apaurusha. Apaurusha means not written by a man. It is perfect. And as I said many times, in Shasta and the Vedas, we are today using many sciences which are still going on. Example, Jyotish, Ayurveda, Vastu, many different, and there are many more sciences which now people don't know or are not having knowledge of or discussing, but we know a lot of knowledge from the Shastra. We are not, so Shastra has never been proved wrong, neither in those sciences nor in the spiritual sciences. Then Veda goes on to explain in detail about the soul, about God, and about so many spiritual topics. Okay, these points are there. So in the Shastra it's written, Veda Narayan Sakshat, that this knowledge of Shastra is coming from Bhagavan Narayan. And so what Shastra says, previously all the guidance in human society, law, social conventions, rules, etiquette, morality came from Shastra. Their decision, this is right, this is wrong. They accepted that. And then no one argued, and the society was perfect because it was under Shastra. In fact, Shastra comes from word Shas in Sanskrit, Shas Dhatu. From Shas comes Shasan. Shasan should be done through Shastra. Ruling, the king should rule using Shastra. And through the Shastra he should establish what to do, what not to do, duties of all human beings. So laws cannot be created. Why we are speaking about laws? Because as I said, now we are going to talk about giving up bad habits. But then as I said, some of people say, this is not a bad habit, why should I give it up? Getting drunk, having alcohol, it's not a bad habit, some may say. How to know is it good or bad? So how to know? Shastra. Shastra will give the guidance. And previously, all the rules of law came from Shastras like Dharma Shastra. Dharma Shastra is example. Manu Samhita, Parashara Smriti. These books, today, people who having abandoned Shastra, they have different opinions about these texts. Because their rules of morality changed. So now, the Shastras are not agreeing with what they are thinking, so thinking Shastra is wrong. That is now, but millions of years, actually millions of years, Satya, Treta, Dwapar, Kali, the Shastra was the basis of morality. No one argued. If there was a fight in the village, they'll come and consult with one Pandit, he'll check next, he'll give that. Or they'll go before the temple and say one oath, this is the truth, I am swearing in front of the deity. So this was the standard previously. Nowadays, law or morality is made by any normal person who's supposed to be high politically, in the legislature or in the political circles. Somebody who is very highly situated, he'll decide one day that no, marriage age should be 24, should be 30. That's law, everyone we should follow. But what is Shastra saying? It's not saying that, it's saying differently. Speaking about live-in relationship, so Shastra says this is wrong. Because in marriage what goes on is okay, but out of marriage what happens is, it's incorrect, it's considered sinful. And even if we look at the effects, supposing we don't follow that, if you look ahead, if we decide not to follow some point, after a long time of not following it, we'll see that actually this is creating a big problem in society. It's like an experiment we are doing. But we cannot experiment with some things. So nowadays law is made by a normal person. And after some time that law is changed. So as I said, that means we are following the wrong law. So then what is the correct law? What is correct? Oh, now it's correct. So before was wrong? Yes. Okay, so other laws you made, are they correct or wrong? They're correct, but one was a mistake. All this might be a mistake. So how can we follow something which may be wrong? Not perfect. Whereas Manu Samhita, it was accepted and it was followed properly. So to get a good idea of what is morality, what we should do, what we should not do, Vedanta Sutra says, Shastra Yonitvat. The Shastra is the source of everything. Behavior, law, social norms, political system, financial system, everything was given before what was followed in India. And what happened, that previously made India so great as a nation. That whole ocean is named after India. Their trade routes, everyone knew that the wealth of India, the stability, the culture, the religion. Till now, everyone knows in the West, we want to know anything about religion, come to India. And in India, where shall we go? They don't know. But they will come with their backpack and roam around Varanasi, Haridwar, looking for some spiritual guidance. Unfortunately, so many people cheating nowadays in the name of religion. But the point is that everyone knew that for spiritual and moral principles, India was the land. And India means, it was the Shastra. So Shastra Yonitvat means, Shastra is the source of all things. Today we may not have that knowledge fully. And also, being brought up in a system of education which is not Indian, so we are taught to maybe criticize or not completely see it correctly. We are seeing it through different eyes. But if we look at it without any preconception and make a study, we can see that the principles propounded in Shastra is perfect, makes a perfect society, perfectly balanced. So when we speak about giving up the bad habits, if I say, I want to give up the bad habits, I means who? I means mind. What am I? Am I the mind? Am I the intelligence? So, we have to first understand who we are. So, Bhagavad Gita says, I am the soul. Dehinosmin yatha dehe. The soul within the body. I am a soul. Okay? So, I, as a soul, I want to give up bad habits. But now, what we understand, originally, Atma, soul, is pure, like a drop of water that falls from the sky is pure, but it touches the ground, becomes muddy. So we were originally pure souls, no bad habits, not disturbed by senses and mind. Then we came, descended into this material world. When we descended here, we absorbed the material energy. The Maya Shakti bewildered us and contaminated us, and negative qualities were born. But actually they didn't have to be born. I can live in this world and not be sinful. But because I decided that I want to use this material world and body to enjoy, not to serve God, that idea is what began the contamination, how I started to suffer. Because the plan of creation and of this material world is that the Jiva soul, Jeev Krishna Das, e Vishwas, Karle to aar koi dukha nahi. The actual duty of the soul is Krishna Das, to be servant of God, according to the instructions in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahma Samhita. We are supposed to serve God. But we decide, no, I want to serve myself, I want to enjoy this. Of course, by serving God, we become more happy, actually. But we didn't understand. So now we want to use the body and this world to enjoy. That idea contaminated us. And after that, all negative qualities came. So when the drop of water fell, it touched the ground and became muddy. So the soul coming into this material world became materialistic and developed all these bad habits. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Originally pure souls. So now the soul, all of us are souls, Jivatma. This Jivatma is not having just its existence, but it is covered with a layer. This is the covering of Maya. This covering has confused us, thinking, I am this body, I am this religion, this country, this caste. But actually the pure Jiva, only one Upadhi, designation. Upadhi means designation is one, servant of God. But now so many other designations came, which are not actually the original. But because we are covered in this Maya, we are having wrong identity. So as having a wrong identity, I'm thinking I'm this body. And then next step is let me enjoy the body. But we cannot do that. Gita tells us, actually, people who take up these different things to try to enjoy this body, it's not possible, because the body and this material world is not, it is source of suffering. But due to the Maya Shakti, we may think we are enjoying. It is an illusion. The common example is a drunk person. A man who is drunk or intoxicated, he'll be laughing, smiling, dancing, but actually we are looking from outside, you're not happy, you're bewildered, that's all. That is not actually happiness. Happiness is when he again comes to normal state and then he becomes happy. So the bad qualities came because of this material world and the material body trying to enjoy this material world. Okay, they are listed in Shastra, many things are there, but with example, it's listed as Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, lust, envy, anger, greed, delusion, madness. These are some of the qualities that are born of somebody who becomes covered by material energy. The more materialistic we become, the more sinful people become. The more we move away from understanding about God and Shastra and Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, the more we go far away from that, the more we become sinful. We cannot control our senses and we get absorbed more in this material world. So that is the nature. More and more bad habits come. Bhagavad Gita has given a list in chapter 16, text 1 to 3. 1 to 2. 1 to 3. Chapter 16 of Bhagavad Gita. There they have given divine and demonic qualities, divya and asurik lakshan, qualities of someone. So what are the godly qualities? Krishna told Arjuna that the godly qualities are in those people who are divine, who are divya, transcendental, who are devotees, and the bad qualities are in people who are not. So many qualities are given, some 23 qualities. Okay, what are good qualities? Fearlessness, purification. This is all in Sanskrit. Maybe you'll understand better than what I'm writing in English. But anyway, fearlessness, purification of one's existence. That means we are born in this world and we are thinking that I am going to act to purify myself. This is a good quality. All of you came here for that purpose. So Krishna is saying this is a divya lakshan, the spiritual quality. Fearlessness, purification of one's existence. Number 3, cultivation of spiritual knowledge. Right now you are sitting to hear spiritual knowledge. Krishna said this is a good quality, that somebody has that desire that I want to know about God, I want to know about Atma. So this is a good quality, cultivation of spiritual knowledge. Number 4, charity. Then self-control. Next, performance of sacrifice, yajna. Yajna means any religious duty. Study of the Vedas. Austerity. Austerity means tapasya. Simplicity. Non-violence, ahimsa. Truthfulness. Freedom from anger. Renunciation, tyaga. Tranquility. A peaceful person is also a divine quality. Actually, you cannot be peaceful unless we are fully devoted to God. In this material world, there are so many sources of anxiety. Tranquility, aversion to fault finding, not pointing out bad things in people. Compassion for all living entities. Now people have compassion for human beings, but not for the chicken and the goat. They'll eat that. But the compassion of all humanity, take care of the humanity, fight for the right, now let's go and have a chicken burger. But here it's saying, compassion for all living entities. Freedom from covetousness, that means no envy, looking at people, oh, they have this, I want it, I want these things that people have, that is covetousness. Gentleness, modesty means not showing off, oh, I have so many things, I have this quality, that is modesty. Steady determination, that I take up something and I do it. I'm not changing all the time. But that quality can only be had by a devotee. Someone who is devoted to God becomes very fixed. Vigor, energy, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, freedom from envy, and freedom from passion for honor. Like I want respect, everyone has to respect me as a person. And if they have respect, I don't want. I'll respect others, I don't need respect. So that humility is devotee's quality. So Krishna says, these are transcendental qualities. These are transcendental qualities. O son of Bharat, they belong to godly men endowed with a divine nature. So people who take up worship of God, who come on the path, gradually they get all good qualities. Automatically they manifest. So good qualities, morality has been given by Bhagavad Gita here. And the Vedas give us much more detail. How to understand what is good, what is bad should come from Shastra. Shastra is Veda Narayan Sakshat, directly from Narayan. So it's perfect. And if one lives according to that and the good qualities they can manifest, they will also understand what is good, what is wrong, what is right. Today there's confusion. They're debating so many things in the court. But these are people, normal people. How can they know what is right and wrong? They have so many things, imperfections in their judgment, in their senses. We're not accusing. I'm also like that. But I understand that if anyone asks me any question, and what I will do, I'll open Gita. Or by now I know many verses, shlokas. I'll quote it and I'll quote, this is the perfect thing. Not my opinion, Shasta's opinion. And then we can attain perfect society, happy, peaceful. For, I can say 1,000, but not 1,000, I'll say millennium, millions of years. This is time scales which are very bewildering for modern historians. But according to Shastra, we understand history goes into millions of years. Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga, the beginning, this is millions of years ago. So for millions of years, this nation had power, opulence, strength, we cannot imagine. As we went further away from it, so more and more weakness came. Okay, so we found out what are the good qualities. What about bad qualities? Give me Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 16 has listed 23 or so. Chapter 16. So many good qualities were listed. Okay, bad qualities are also listed. What is considered bad? Dambo darpo bimanascha kroda parushyam evacha agyanam chabijatasya partha sampadam asurim. Demonic quality is pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demonic nature or son of Pritha. So Krishna is saying to Arjuna, these are the bad qualities. Why is it important not to have good and bad qualities? Why are we making such a big deal out of this? Because some people don't care. Actually, in modern society, no one cares. They want to know which degree you did so they can employ you. And if someone's getting married to you, what is your bank balance? Where you're from? What is your job? And that is society. Who cares what you are drinking, eating? No one cares. But what is the result? Here it's written in Bhagavad Gita. Devi sambad vimokshaya nibandaya suri mata marshucha sampadam devim abhijato si pandava. Transcendental qualities lead to liberation. If we live a spiritual life, we get liberation. If we have sinful life, we will bind the karma to take birth again and we will suffer in the next life. Not only next life, we'll suffer now. How much, if we go gambling, how much money can we afford? Taking alcohol, we understand, forget about next life, but whatever Shasta says we should not do, the reactions come within this life. For example, the result of alcohol is our thinking becomes clouded. We cannot think properly. Then we'll do things which we will not normally do, and almost always people will regret next day. Okay? Not to mention this damaging liver and all these things. But mostly it bewilders us to do things. Okay? And I don't have to say, you may know all these things, but for example, now in the West, actually 2-3 days ago they had a particular day, I think it was Mother's Day, where they said that it's legal to smoke ganja, and then people want to legalize, they're smoking ganja, and people are clamoring they should be made legal. Still it's illegal in India. But very simple, we understand by smoking ganja, brain cells are destroyed every second. I inhale, brain cells destroyed more, and within a few years we become very dull, intelligence goes. So when we say things are not good, we may not see that harm at the moment. But if we simply follow Shastra blindly, simply it can make us into a perfect person, and that society will be perfect. And we decide to give up certain things, later the problem comes. So why to have good habits? One is that bad habits will drive us into misery and suffering, and good habits, gradually we are able to practice a spiritual life and get liberation. Therefore, Krishna has outlined it here. And then in the next verse, Krishna is saying that in this material world, we can divide people into two categories. Dvau bhuta sargo lokyasmin daiva asura evacha. He said we can divide everyone into two categories. He says, one is divine, one is demoniac. In other words, one is daiva, another is asura. And who are they? He says that it's mentioned in Vishnu Puran. Vishnu Bhakta Smrito Deva. Those who are devotees, they are divine. And those who are not devotees, means they are living life not according to following Shastra and Bhagavan, they are asuric. So that leads to a lot of problems later in life. Finally, we're in Gita here. Last verse we look at here, where Krishna is saying 3 particular bad qualities will lead us to suffer much. Trividam narakasvedam dvaram nashitam atmaha kama krodha tata lobha etam tasmat etam trayam tyajet. Krishna tells Arjuna, 3 gates are leading to hell: lust, anger, greed. So every sane man should give these up, because they lead to degradation of the soul. Okay, now we saw what are the bad qualities. We know what they are, where to get them from. But actually, it's not that people don't know some of these qualities are bad, but they cannot stop it. So now we have in the school, they have moral science. Teach the children, don't steal, don't cheat, corruption is bad. Everyone knows it's bad. If you go to the jail, you'll find a thief, they'll not steal in the afternoon, they'll steal at night. Because they know they're doing something wrong. This is not the problem. The problem is, I know it's wrong, but I cannot stop it. So how to stop the bad habits? This is now given here in Shasta. Hare Krishna. People can move in front because some more are coming. Give some space. So actually, we all want to be happy. Everyone wants to be happy. But we don't know how to be happy. So, we are simply listening to our body. Body is demanding, I want to be happy like this, and we are doing it. The tongue, sense of touch, eyes, I want to see some good picture, I want to hear some good song, I want to see and hear all these things. So, we are simply listening to our body. Why? Because the soul, we want to be happy. The nature of the jiva is that he should be happy. So when people are going around doing things, which we are saying these are bad habits, actually they want to be happy. If you analyze intoxication, Why people do it? We'll find out actually the reason is because people go through great suffering and they just want to stop it. Or they're under some great pressure from family, from friends, from society, whatever it is, from work. So to stop that suffering, they just take intoxication. They think if I drink alcohol, I'll forget it, then I become happy, then again I'm suffering next day. But that's not a solution. First of all, it's temporary. Second, it brings more problems. So, because we want to be happy, we are simply not knowing how to be happy, we end up taking up all these things. But Shastra gives us a deeper way of being happy. According to Shastra, the jiva, soul, is a spiritual entity. And so, being spiritual by nature, should be engaged in spiritual activity. Previously, if you go back in India, in this culture, not only India, actually you look whole world, people had culture, religion we used to follow. And because of that, they were happy. Just now, within now it's 100, 500 years, we're building skyscrapers and roads and city, drainage, cinema, restaurants, so many things. So, can we question why that was not there before? Are we more intelligent? We are more intelligent. They were not. So we know how to build. We are building. We discovered concrete, motor car. Actually, people were happy. They were happy. So they didn't need it. But now we are not happy. Now we have to make all these things. New and new things are coming. Like before we were happy with one simple phone. Now we are so bored. Okay, smartphone. Then we can see so many things. Otherwise, what will I do? I'm bored. I'm not happy. But previously, people were always happy, just sitting peaceful, happy, because they were on the spiritual platform. They started their morning with some spiritual activity, always thinking somehow about God. And they will have some mantra, some book, they will chant, they will read, of course they will go to work and live a normal life. But main thing is that they were absorbed in spiritual activities. Because of that, they became happy. When we speak about Bhakti, this is explained in Bhagavad Gita. Bhakti in English is devotion, devotional service to God. So Bhakti has some very powerful effects. Of course, the best quality is that gradually by doing Bhakti, we can know God. We can see Krishna and speak to Him directly and enter into His Leela. But people want to know today, what is the benefit? What is the benefit? I want to do something. Why? What will I get? What will I gain from it? What will I gain? Okay, let's see what we'll gain. So one effect of Bhakti first is Kleshagni, destroys suffering. We are suffering in different ways, but that is because our consciousness is wrong. It is now disturbed, materialistic. So we suffer so much. Bhakti destroys suffering. How? All the problems go. No. Consciousness changes. Our perception changes. Consciousness change is not a problem to me anymore. I am not suffering because what people are seeing as suffering, I am not suffering. I am not having a problem with these things in my life. But now people suffer and become angry on small things, not like before, because they are not peaceful. So first effect of Bhakti is that it makes us happy. Another effect of Bhakti is it destroys all sinful reaction. Karma is destroyed. Krishna says in Gita many times. Actually, why are we suffering if you analyze? This is result of past karma. Karma, phal, result of past suffering, past activities, reaction is coming now. Therefore in Gita it says, Purusha sukha dukhanam bhoktritva hetur karanam uchyate. Krishna tells Arjuna, Purusha, this jiva, Purusha sukha dukhanam, that his happiness and sadness, bhoktritva hetur karanam uchyate. He is the cause. Sometimes people are suffering. Why did God make me do this? Why is God doing this? Why is God doing that? But Krishna explains clearly in Gita, our happiness and suffering is because of our activity. Maybe not this life, past life. So, we are suffering because of karma. Intelligent person will think how to remove the karma. Bhagavad Gita says, one who takes up the path of bhakti, aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. Krishna says, you take up the path of bhakti, I'll destroy your sins. Aham sarvadharman parityaja aham sarvadharman parityaja mamikam sharanavaja aham tam sarva papebhyo. I will destroy your sin. Where? How can we do that? Everyone knows we have sin. We look in our Jyotish chart. Everyone knows this is my Rahu Kal, this is Shani, I'm going to suffer this time. We all have to suffer. It's written. We must go through some suffering. Sare Sat. Every time in everyone's life they have to go through some suffering with Shani. And like that we understand. But every astrologer will tell you, and on the path of bhakti, this chart is not having effect. Everything is destroyed. Depending on your intensity of bhakti. Tivra bhakti. Tivrena bhakti yogena. If you are doing bhakti with great determination, immediately everything is destroyed. If we do casually, half destroyed. That's also good. So, effects of bhakti make us happy to destroy our sinful activities. Means suffering goes. Actually, there are many effects. Removes material contamination. Just by doing bhakti, one becomes pious. Punyashali. He is inclined to do good things. So many times in ISKCON, because so many years I'm in ISKCON, we have lecture, people start coming. After some time, someone comes to me, I give up smoking. We didn't tell him to give up smoking. Other one tells, I stop this habit, I stop that habit. But our system is not to tell people, don't do this, don't do that. Because we know they'll do bhakti, it will take care of everything. And we see, within a few short time, someone is in this, they become purified, peaceful, happy. They leave all the bad habits. So bhakti is, in Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to a fire. How fire destroys anything that comes. So bhakti destroys all the material contamination. Anything negative is destroyed at once. Kapila is incarnation of Krishna. So Kapila Muni, he says, his teachings, there he says, how bhakti is like a fire which destroys everything. An example is given in Shasta. For example, if I want to plant, if I want a mustard tree, mustard, rye, so how will I do that? I'll go to the shop, buy that mustard, I'll just put in the ground, it will grow. Isn't it? Simple. Same with dhania. If I want dhania tree, I get dhania masala, that around, I just plant, the tree will come. But what will happen if I roast the dhania? I roast on the fire, dry roast. Like when you want to make some podi or some cooking something, dry masala, you will roast it, dry roast on the fire, on the pan. After that, what happens if I plant it? It won't grow. You cannot, it won't grow. It's not anymore the same thing. It's been roasted. Similarly, if one comes in contact with bhakti, in his body there are seeds, bij. These seeds of karma later, this life or next life, will become phal and we'll get the result of our suffering that we are meant to get. And like that we live many lives, so many reactions are waiting to happen at different stages. Just like a seed, we'll get a seed, then ankur, the sprout in the tree. Like that. So the sins, they can come anytime. We can understand. This material world is padam padam yadvipadam. Danger at every step. We don't know which karma will hit me anytime. But when one performs bhakti, this, whatever the seeds are, they're burnt. They will not act. They cannot act. They have been destroyed by material. One second. They've been destroyed by the fire of bhakti. And if we did not even do so much bhakti little, but what will happen, whatever heavy reaction has to come, will come little. This is effect of bhakti. So many effects of bhakti are there. It's like a fire. And one who comes in contact gradually becomes spiritualized. In Shasta also it's given how through bhakti one gets good qualities. So we are seeing giving up bad qualities. But one good way is just start taking up, getting good qualities, and the bad qualities will go. So in Srimad Bhagavad Purana, Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana Sarva Gunais Tata Samasete Suraha. That if anybody, Yasyaste Bhaktir Bhagavati Akinchana, that he begins to do bhakti without any desire for money or anything, he just does it. Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagavati unto Bhagavan, Krishna, Vishnu, Ram. Anyone does bhakti, then Sarva Gunais Tatra Samasete Suraha. All the good qualities will come into that person. The definition, Sarvai Gunais Tatra Samasate Suraha. Sura, the demigods, Devatas, their good qualities will come in you just by performing bhakti. Therefore, it is understood before anybody is doing bhakti is a sadhu, he is pure. According to Manasamhita, one who is a devotee, he should not be punished. If he did something wrong, it was really some mistake, so he should not be taken seriously. Because his bhakti will purify him. And he'll feel so guilty, that will be the punishment for him. Why did I do? Why did it? Will be torture himself. Pious people are like that. Themselves, they'll say, why did I do something wrong? So, Sarve Gunas Tata Samasete Sura. By doing bhakti, all the good qualities come, all the bad qualities go automatically. We have seen it so many times in this ISKCON movement. So many people, young, old, anyone, they start to take bhakti, immediately they become pure and different. So this is a powerful nature of bhakti. A person is considered a gentleman. Before, it was sadhu meant someone who's sadhu, practicing these things. The sadhu doesn't necessarily mean, brahmachari, sannyasi, it can be anybody. In society, anybody. Generally, the principle is, whoever we worship, we take their qualities. And whoever you serve. If there is a Mahan Bhakt, we serve him, we get his quality, we get his devotion, we get his spiritual benefit. So nowadays, people don't know this principle. Now, unfortunately, the situation is we are working in job, we don't know who the owner is. He can be some sinful person. It's very difficult in Kali Yuga. But supposing a devotee, somebody is worshipping Krishna. What is the quality of Krishna? Satchidananda Vigraha. Ishwar Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha. His body is spiritual, no matter. Satchit, full of knowledge. Ananda, always happy. Krishna is always happy, full of knowledge. So, qualities of Bhagavan. So we worship God, we will get that quality. We will get that godliness, Daivik Sampad. But we'll get it not equal to Krishna, but we'll get it. Because the principle is, who we worship, we get his qualities. Or who we serve, we'll get their qualities. If one doesn't do bhakti, the same shloka, Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana, Sarve Gunais Tattva Samasate Suraha. Harav abhaktasya kuto mahadguna manorethena sati dhavato bahi. If one is not connected to God and worshipping God, what is the result? Harav abhaktasya kuto mahadguna. He will gradually develop all bad qualities. And we are noticing now that the more in the society, every generation we are losing the culture and religion more and more. So the society is getting more confused, more depressed, more disturbed, more crimes. Families are breaking up. Before, people could live 3-4 generations in one house. No fight, no problem. 3-4 generations. Now 2 people cannot get along. 2 people divorce. What is the problem? Problem is that people have gone far away from the spiritual culture, which it makes people into proper human beings. Cultured, spiritual, good qualities. Before, at a very young age, people were taught about bhakti. Young age. Now I'm thinking there's something for old people. No, life is over. Why you want to read? What will you read? Age 7. Komar ma charet pragyo dharman bhagavataniha. Prahlad Maharaj, Bhakta Prahlad, Narasimha devotee, Lord Narasimha. So he spoke some prayers, shiksha. Then he says that Kaumarama charet pragyo, from age of Kaumara, age 7, Kaumarama charet pragyo dharman bhagavatan. We should start age 7. And practically everyone is starting except we, Sanatan Dharma. We are not starting. All other religious systems, they will start very early. But somehow this is not taken root in this society. And so many people have come to take advantage. They call themselves Guru, Sadhu, Yogi, Baba, something. But they are not teaching anything from Shasta. Their own teaching, they're taking money, becoming famous, because we are not reading the Shastra. But Shasta will give all this knowledge. So previously from young age, they will take this and they'll have a very peaceful life. They'll not have any problems. They'll be very stable. Any big difficulties come, they'll take shelter of God. Now we are not having any knowledge of God, any training that we have to take shelter. So now what happened? Who will we take shelter of? Maybe psychologist or some friend. They cannot help. These problems are material problems. The solution is not on the material platform. Solution is on a spiritual platform. Final solution has to come on the spiritual level. The qualities of a devotee is given in Srimad Bhagavatam also. There is one shloka. Titikshava karunika suhridam sarvadehinam ajatra shatrava shanta sadhava sadhubhushana. Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 25, shlok number 21. The symptom of a sadhu is that he is tolerant, merciful, friendly to all living entities. He has no enemies. He is peaceful. He follows Shastra and his characteristics are sublime. Sadhu bhushana, like a jewel. He's like a jewel. So before, all the leaders were made sure that they had to be of that quality, that caliber. The rulers were all of that quality. So then everyone followed that. If we want to become happy, if we want to become peaceful and free from bad habits, doctor cannot help. Psychologist cannot help. They're all there in America and Japan. They have psychologists, they have doctor, but they're having more and more problems with school shootings, drugs, gangs of young people, not all people, young 12, 13-year-olds walking with knives, stabbing people. Severe problem of moral degradation. We don't see it in the news. They will make that look good, and anything happens here in India, big thing, oh this is normal, big confused society. They're seeing how to report. But there's a big problem of morality now. So if we want to be happy and absorb good qualities and give up bad qualities, we have to become spiritualized. That doesn't require a big change in your life. Whatever you're living, you live like that. But this culture will gradually purify us of all our bad habits. First of all, you'll become happy. Through Bhakti, people become very happy. When we're happy, we don't have to go through all these negative things which cause a problem for us. All peaceful. So the process of Bhakti is outlined in Shastra. It's not hard. It's a simple thing. Only that the society we're brought up, we are not trained and we are not taught about it. So it's something for something strange, just like we go on the road. We tell someone, Bhagavad Gita, first thing, first reaction, they start laughing. Why are you selling me Gita? They are shocked. Why are you giving me Gita? Because they watch some movie. Movie will not speak about it. They watch news doesn't talk about it. Government of India, they'll not tell you read Gita. School will not tell you read Gita. College won't tell you read Gita. Your friend won't tell you read Gita. So we come read Gita. Who are you? Why are you telling me to read? What is the effect? How will I fit it in my life? They can't understand. So people become shocked. But actually, what we are teaching is nothing new. This is the proper culture. This is the culture of society before here. They will be reading these, they will be following, and it will go on life as it is. You're working, studying, life goes on, but on a spiritual basis. No bad habits, no disturbance, no anxiety, peacefulness, godliness, devotion to God. So in Kali Yuga, if we want to take up bhakti, how do we do it? What to do? Shastra tells us that in every yuga there is a system by which we practice bhakti. This is called Yuga Dharma. And this is given in Shastra. Kirtaya dhyayato Vishnum tretayam yajatomake dvapare paricharyayam kalau tad hari kirtanat. In Satya Yuga, they did dhyana. They meditated on form of God. In Treta Yuga, they did homa, yajna. In Dwapar Yuga, paricharya, they did temple worship. Many temples were built long time ago in India. They're still existing from that time. Kalau tad hari kirtanat. In Kali Yuga, if anyone wants to become spiritual and to practice bhakti, what is the system? Kalau tad hari kirtanat. We chant names of Hari. We chant the mantra given in Kali Santara Upanishad. It's given, this mantra is given in Kali Santara Upanishad. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This shloka is given. Kali Santara Upanishad, this shloka is given. Then it says, Iti Shodashakam Nam Nam Kali Kalmasha Nashanam Natta Parataropai Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. It says in age of Kali, these 16 words, Iti Shodashakam Nam Nam, Kali Kalmasha Nashanam, they will destroy effect of Kali. They will destroy all negative things. Natta Paratara Upai. You might say, okay, but what about this method, this mantra, that mantra, this book, that book. But then it says, Natta Paratara Upai. There is no other way. Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. If I look all the Vedas, I will not find a better way. So in Kali Yuga, if we want to become spiritualized, very simple method is we chant Hare Krishna. Chant this mantra, hear the name. Chant, listen to the name. That's all. By doing that, gradually that sound will purify us. It is Shabda Brahman, spiritual sound. And Abhinatva Nama Namino, Krishna and his name are not different. So when I say Krishna, Hare Krishna means Radha Krishna. They are here, present. But I cannot see. I am not on that level. But by chanting again and again, I become pure, gradually purified of this material energy, which is causing so much suffering, so many sinful activities. This is given in Shastra. So what else? We chant the Hare Krishna mantra on Mala or in Kirtan. And we read Shastra, we read Bhagavad Gita or books which speaking about Gita, we have outside small books. And we hear about Katha, Krishna Katha, like now you are listening. Okay? And taking prasadam. These four things purify us more and more, more and more. Anyone can do it. There is no rule, no regulation. In Kali Yuga, many rules are relaxed because it's difficult for anyone to do dharma. It is understood in Shastra. Okay, so by following this, one becomes purified. And all bad habits go, all negative things, anxiety and everything. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Does anyone have any question? What we spoke? Anything regarding the beginning? Giving up bad habits, source of knowledge of what are good habits, what are bad habits.
Where was dinosaur?
Okay, no, okay.
Where is dinosaur?
Okay, good question. I'll answer. If something relating to this lecture? No, okay.
So, we know these all things.
Okay.
In self-help book also. Like Atomic Habits, like that book. We follow that, but we can't continue. So how can I believe I will continue?
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, question is that previously we tried to take some spiritual path, okay, but we take that path, but we are not able to continue. Very good question. I'm sure many people face that I want to change my life. I'll make a change. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 1 week, and then back again. Then again we try, then again we are not. Actually in Kali Yuga, if you want to do anything spiritual, Kalau Shakti Sanghe, we have to be in Sangha. Now you see so many people are together. And some strength will come. If we chant Hare Krishna and we together discuss some topic, strength comes. So, if you want to take up a spiritual life and be able to do it, you should attend satsang regularly. And you're doing that. You have started, some of you are coming regularly. Simply by coming again and again, you develop the strength. Because you are sitting with other people following the same thing. Then you take up something, he is doing it, everyone is doing it, we're talking about it, and you will do it. So the answer to your question is, first is Sangha. You join some satsang, which you have done. Okay. Second is, what system we are following, it should be in line with Shastra, because Shastra recommends how to do, what to do. If we follow that, that is more suitable, then it will be easier to follow. Okay, for example, now if someone says, I want to do dhyana, I want to meditate on form of God, close my eyes. But Shastra says you cannot do this in Kali Yuga, because in Kali Yuga, the people are very disturbed. Prayanal payusha sabya kala vasmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hi upadruttaha. They are disturbed, they have short life, they have bad karma, many things. So they cannot just close eyes like this and think about God. Many other things will come and finally they'll fall asleep. And it's this is nature of this material world. The body is not suited. So, but if we say we'll follow what Shasta says, Shasta is saying, we chant the mantra loudly so we can hear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. First of all, I don't need a silent place to do this. Because there's no silent place now in BTM, is it? Oh, Bangalore, where is the silent place to do dhyana? In your PG, where's the silent place? So, now what will purify? Not silence, sound, spiritual sound. That is one good thing. Another thing is that we'll chant this mantra, repeat a simple mantra again and again. You say, I cannot remember long mantra. No, repeat the same mantra again. So, answer to your question, two. One is satsang, we'll be able to continue in the strength of our other devotees. Second, if you follow the guidance of Shastra, what do they recommend for us? Then it will be also beneficial. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any other question? Yes, you wish.
To continue, like there's weekly classes over here, right?
Yes.
So if you want to do in the weekdays, also to be connected with the Bhakti, so you just need to just chant right now.
Yeah, now if you're saying, okay, satsang is here once a week, we come here. What about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Okay, so one way is that actually this mantra we are talking about, you can do it. You can go in your PG in your room and just do one mala 10 minutes every morning. And you mind gets absorbed in that. Then you continue your day normally. But you will see a big difference. Consciousness is different. That is one thing. Another thing, we online, every day I'm speaking now, you're listening, but and every single day almost we have lectures. Tuesday evening we have online lecture. Online you can just listen to some lecture. Mornings we have 7:30 Srimad Bhagavatam lecture. Or we have recordings, people can listen. So in this way, we can keep contact even when we are not there. That's another. Yeah, but your reply about chanting every day, yes? Japa, yes. Okay, so we'll stop here. Okay, Hare Krishna.